Good morning, grade 11. Welcome to the biology class. Hope you all are doing great. Today we will discuss about smoking, lung cancer and COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. We all know the risk of smoking and that it is not at all good for our health. So the main components in the cigarette that have harmful effects are carbon monoxide that reduces the oxygen carrying capacity, nicotine, an addictive agent, tar that causes lung cancer and other cancers too, and the particulate that damages the lung surfaces. Analysis of cigarette smoke shows that it contains a cocktail of harmful substances, including acetone, ammonia, arsenic, butane, cadmium, hydrogen cyanide, methanol, etc. Carcinogens in the tar component are particularly harmful, and you have to remember that a carcinogen is an agent that may cause cancer by damaging to the DNA molecule present in the chromosome, and once it damages the DNA, it means it changes your genes, resulting in the production of the tumors. Nicotine, I told you, it's an addictive agent. It is a stimulating and relaxing drug which on entering the bloodstream is able to cross the blood-brain barrier. So in the brain, it triggers the release of dopamine, the natural neurotransmitter substance associated with our experience of pleasure. That's why the person who starts smoking become addictive to that, and daily he needs that cigarette. The person who is a chain smoker means he a smoker who smokes around 10 to 15 cigarettes or more than 5 cigarettes per day, has addiction of this, and he cannot live without smoking. Then carbon monoxide, it's a gas that diffuses in the red blood cells and combines irreversibly with hemoglobin, and it results in the transport of less oxygen. This is the reason why the person who smokes is always having cough, and he has very low stamina. He cannot run for a long distance. He cannot tolerate the pollutions and lack of oxygen environment. He is always coughing. He feels tired and weak. What does this picture shows? This picture shows that the people who are not actually smoking are affected by the cigarette smoke, and this is called as passive smoking. Means the person who is smoking, he's creating problems for himself as well as he's creating problems for the others who are not actually smoking. So it is the inhalation of the smoke that is called a second-hand smoke or environmental tobacco smoke by person other than the active smoker. What is COPD? It's a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It's a chronic inflammatory lung disease that causes obstruction, means the barrier of the airflow from the lungs. It obstructs, it stops the airflow properly from the lungs. And how this happens? This happens in two ways. One is the by narrowing the airways. Second, by damaging the alveoli sacs. So emphysema and chronic bronchitis are the two most common conditions that contribute to COPD. Chronic bronchitis is the inflammation of the lining of bronchial tubes which carry air to and from the air sacs. So the bronchial tubes, you know what are the bronchial tubes? If their lining cells or there is inflammation in the lining of these tubes, they won't be able to carry the air properly towards the air sacs. So there will be no diffusion from the lungs towards the heart, and the whole of your body processes will be affected. Emphysema is a condition in which the alveoli at the end of the smallest air passages of the lungs are destroyed. Once the alveoli are destroyed or damaged, or there is any infection or any problem with the alveoli then obviously there will be a problem in the diffusion of oxygen to the blood, and blood is the transporting material that is flowing throughout the day or throughout your life in whole of your body. Okay, so one problem creating lots of problems in the body. Now come to the lung cancer, which is also called as lung carcinoma. It's a tumor that is characterized by uncontrolled cell growth. Yes, the cell growth in excessive amount and increasingly, and not only in the lung but outside the lung, it spreads beyond the lungs in other parts of the body. And obviously this cell growth is not at all normal, it's abnormal, it's affected, infected, and it causes tumors. Okay, what are the signs and symptoms? The main thing which you need to know is the signs and symptoms shown by the patient are always very late, and when a person get to know through the signs and symptoms that he has lung cancer, it's usually the late stage of the cancer, so the person cannot be treated properly. So it's better to be aware of the symptoms or to be aware of the disease at the early stage so that it can be treated properly. The symptoms includes frequent and severe coughing up of the blood, shortness of breath, and unexpected weight loss. These are the pictures present in your book, page number 183. This shows the damaged epithelium cilia, okay, of the smoker. So as I told you, lung cancer can be treated but only when it is diagnosed at the early stage. If it is diagnosed late, or if it is diagnosed after the shown of signs and symptoms, then it will be too late for the patient to be treated. But once a person get diagnosed early, then he can be treated by radiation therapy, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, targeted therapy, and surgery.